everybody, Dr. Kelly here. Listen, I wanted to do a quick video today to talk about one of the biggest smoke screens that is being perpetuated on the general population, and it's being perpetuated by the pharmaceutical companies who want you to think, if you happen to be a pre or type 2 diabetic, that your disease is this. They want you to believe that your hemoglobin A1C is the target that you need to be managing. And what I want to let you know is that that is completely false. This is not a disease. You do not have A1C disease if you happen to be pre-diabetic, or if you happen to be a type 2 diabetic, or even if your doctor has done blood work and has told you, listen, your A1C is getting in the range where you could become a pre-diabetic or a type 2 diabetic. This is simply a marker. Your A1C is not a disease. And if you look at the pharmaceutical commercials that are so cinematically being perpetuated to the general population, what you're going to see is that they want you to believe that if you can just stay in your A1C range, everything's going to be hunky-dory and everything's going to be all right. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. They want you to think that if you're just managing that number, that you're going to be healthy. So long as you can stay in your A1C range, for your diabetes. But it's a bunch of baloney, because this is simply a marker of how poorly, if your A1C is rising and becoming elevated, it's a marker of how poorly you've been eating over the course of a 3-month period. That's what it represents. And so we as physicians have really dropped the ball in regard to this, because we have taken on this narrative that has been perpetuated by the pharmaceutical industry, and we've jumped right on board, and we're preaching to our patients that you really need to watch your A1C. Well, you don't need to watch your A1C per se. It's an important number to be aware of, because if you're overweight and this number is going up, what it means is that you've gained weight and that you are storing too much in the form of sugar and carbohydrate calories. And so, yeah, is it important to be aware that this number is going up? I suppose so, but that is not your disease. If you're a pre or type 2 diabetic, A1C is not your disease. There is no disease called A1C disease, okay? There is pre and type 2 diabetes, which represents an overstorage disorder of calories. And what you may not have been told by your physician is that for most people to fall within the norm of the range, whether we're talking about A1C, or we're talking about blood glucose, or we're talking about two of the most common liver enzymes that I see elevated, ALT and AST, for you to fall in the norm of those ranges, typically you're going to need to be leaner than anyone is telling you that you need to be. Over 74% of all adults in the United States are either overweight or obese now. And that's not something that we just all caught, okay? Back in the 1970s, type 2 diabetes was almost non-existent. But over the past 50 years, our food environment has changed drastically. We're surrounded 24/7, 365 days a year with a myriad of unhealthy food products that require manufacturing before they can end up in your body. And so I want you to be aware, if you've been led to believe by anyone, whether it's your doctor or the pharmaceutical industry, that this is your problem, I want you to take a hard look at your body, your weight, your health, and I want you to ask yourself, did you get to this place where someone diagnosed you with pre or type 2 diabetes because you gained weight? Or did you just suddenly become type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic? And this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but I want you to realize that this is such a smokescreen that's being perpetuated on the general population, and we as physicians have not done our part to encourage patients to head the other direction with their health, to lose weight, to get healthier, to eat better. And instead, we've adopted the narrative that is being perpetuated by the pharmaceutical industry that it's all about this. And if you just take these medications, you can stay in your A1C range. And that is a bunch of, I'll talk to you again tomorrow.